How exciting is it to know that you were the highest remaining seed in your half of the bracket, and the fact that you can play at home now for 2 more games if you are able to win 1 more?
Well, it's nice, but I don't think it matters at this time of the year. I mean, the team we're playing has won 9 of the last 10 road games. So, and they just had Cal by almost 30 at Cal. So, the thing you really want to guard against is not have a false sense of security that, now we got it made because they're home games, and that's only human nature. Because it hits me a little bit that way, and so it's got to hit these 19-year-old young men. And this team we're only favored by a couple baskets for a reason. And this team that we're playing, called Cal State Bakersfield, is coached by a man, Rod Barnes, that I respect as much, if not more than anybody in coaching. I coached against him as a player at Ole Miss. I coached against him as a coach at Southern Miss. He was at Ole Miss. He's one of the top 5 coaches in the country, and they've got a very old team, senior, redshirt seniors. So we have our hands full. And as we're seeing what's happening in this, as everybody plays along, look at a small team called Texas Arlington just beat BYU handily. A small team called Cal State Bakersfield just pounded Cal. A team called Akron just beat Houston, who almost won their American Conference. So there's a lot of parity, and I think that there's a big story to be played into this, how this NC2A has to be expanded to make it, not just the Big 5 tournament, because the Big 5 teams are getting beat like Middle Tennessee just did to Minnesota.
How this team is very, very good defensively. Bakersfield, I think 3rd in the country in field goal percentage defense. What do you guys have to do to be effective offensively against that type of defense?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. They're forcing 19, almost 20 turnovers a game. We have to terminate the offense with a good shot, and then we have to try to put some shots back. But Rod Barnes was a point guard, and he was one of the better defensive players I ever coached against when he played when I was a young graduate assistant at Mississippi State. So their teams are physical, they guard, they're not, if you look at them, they're not extremely tall, but they're extremely physical and extremely tough. I mean, how do you win 9 out of 10 road games, the last 10, if you're not tough?
Just how nice is it, though, to still be practicing and playing right now?
Yeah, I think our guys love it. I know I love it. I think you saw a lot of teams not enjoy it, and that's why they're not playing anymore. But you can hear those guys in there. They went right back in the gym and are excited that they got another chance to fight, another night to fight. But they also believe in what I told them, because I told them Bakersfield would beat Cal. I told them Air Force would beat Wyoming. So they know we know what we're doing, and they hang on every word that we talk about. Sometimes the game breaks them down and we lose them a little bit, but for the most part we can reel them back in. So it's kind of neat to hear the ball bounce in there. I'm excited.
Nevada turned last year's run in the CBI into a conference championship. Is this the kind of experience that can make a difference for the future as well as for this year?
Well, if you look at Colorado State's history in basketball, it's not very strong. I mean, really, you go back to Jimmy Williams' era, but I mean, we now have 1, 2, and 3 most wins in single seasons. Naturally, whatever you do is going to improve, and I think since we've arrived, we've made Colorado State more relevant. There's been some great coaches here, but college basketball is tough. So absolutely, if you can make a run in this tournament, we'd rather be us now than Nevada. Nevada's not playing anymore. So the trick is to start the Bakersfield game right and figure out a way to beat them, and then move on to the next one. But if we're going to get comfortable that we're at home and it's going to just work out, that we won't be playing at about midnight on Monday. Our season will be over.